Shalom Alechem. We are starting in the program of Mishna Brura Yomi, Halachot, Kriat, Shema. Stay with us, subscribe to our channel, get these halachot on daily basis, be familiar with these halachot because they are very relevant. These halachot have to do with everyday reading Kriat Shema in the morning and in the evening, as it says in the Torah, B'shoch v'cha uvkumecha. This is a mitzvah d'oraita. What are the halachot? In Siman Nunchet, the Shulchan Aruch starts off by telling us the time to read Kriat Shema. When is the earliest time you can read? When is the latest time you can read? And Shulchan Aruch starts by saying that the time to start reading Kriat Shema is from the time that you have enough light shining in the morning that you can recognize somebody who you know but you're not very familiar with. It's chavero haragil imo ktsat. The Mishnah Brura explains that if it's a friend that you know very well, you can recognize him even much beforehand just by a little bit dim of light. You can recognize even from further. And if it's somebody you're not familiar with, even if he stands very close to you and there's more light, you still don't recognize him. But if it's someone that you're a little bit familiar with, so you see him sometimes in shul, you see him sometimes in the supermarket, so if you have enough light that you can recognize him from 4 amot away, 4 amot is 6 feet, then that's enough light to start reading Kriat Shema. It's called Mishakir et Chavero. There's another lashon that Chazal used for that is Mishakir ben Tchelet lelavan. And the timing are the following. The very earliest time is Alot HaShachar or Amud HaShachar. That is earlier than the time we're talking about. Then they have Ir Pnei HaMizrach. It shines, the east shines a little bit. There's some time of light that's seen on the east. Then you have what we're talking right now is Biyakir ben Tchelet Lavan or Yakir et Chavero Ragil imo ktsat b'richuk 4 amot. And finally you have Netzach Hama when the sun starts coming out of the horizon. So it says here that this is the very beginning of the time you can read Kriat Shema, Zman Kriat Shema shel Shacharit, Misharet Chavero Ragil imo ktsat b'richuk 4 amot, Veyakirenu. Says the Mishnah Brura that if a person has to read beforehand, he could, because midoraita the time is from Alot HaShachar, from the earliest time. Why? Because it says ufkumecha, from the time people start rising. There are some people that starts waking up earlier than Mishayakir et Chavero, but most people would start from Mishayakir et Chavero, and therefore midoraita it's sufficient already from Amud HaShachar, but Chachamim pushed it and delayed the time, so therefore one should not read before the time of Sheakir et Chavero, recognize his friend, but if he's in a case that he's not able to read at that time, he must read beforehand, he would be permitted to do so. That's the first thing that the Mishnah Brura tells us over here. Then it says the end time of Kriat Shema. When is that? At sof 3 shaot shu revi hayom. 3 hours of the day. That is the time you have until in order to read Kriat Shema, which is a quarter of the day, which means you divide the day to 12 hours. Any day, whether the day is short or long, you still divide them into 12 hours. That is what we call sha'az manit. It's not an hour of 60 minutes, but rather it's divided into the time that we are explaining. And then is the time, the end time is 3 hours of the day. 3 shaot. Why is that? Why can you read until then? Says the Mishnah Brura, sheken derech bnei melachim la'amod az. Since the kings or the children of the king, they are waking up much later. They don't have to run to work. They don't have a busy schedule, so they can sleep longer. When do they wake up? Up to 3 hours of the day. Since there are people that still wake up at that time, the king, therefore it's still considered uvkumecha. And how do you calculate the timing that we just explained, 3 hours of the day? There is a machloket between the Gaon Mivilna and the Magen Avraham, whether you calculate from Amud HaShachar, from the very earliest time until the end time, which is Tzeta Kochavim, and that time you divide into 12 hours, and then you know how much is a Sha'az Manit, a relative hour, and you do 3 hours of that in order to calculate the end time of Kriat Shema, or like the Magen Avraham, which is from Netzach Hama, from the time that the sun comes out, until the night starts, until Shkiat Hama. That is already much shorter period, and that usually would come out to be earlier time. So therefore, which is first of all a machloket already from earlier poskim, the levush and the Tumat HaDeshen. Tumat HaDeshen holds like the Gra, the levush, the Magen Avraham would hold like the levush, the Gra would hold like the Tumat HaDeshen. So that's what we're saying over here, that Linyan Lechatchila, he says the Mishnah Brura, there's no difference. Why? The Shulchan Aruch says that one is not permitted to delay the time of Kriat Shema. He should read it as soon as possible. Should not delay that time at all. Lechatchila asur להתאחר עד אותו זמן, says the Mishnah Brura. One is not allowed to delay the time of Kriat Shema. As soon as he can, and as soon as the time comes, he should really read Kriat Shema and not delay it. But if one delayed it b'diavad, he has until that time. Says the Shulchan Aruch, mitzvah min hamuvchar likota kevatikin. There's a mitzvah to read it even like those people that are called vatikim. Rashi explains, anashim, anavim, mechavivim mitzvot, people that love to do mitzvot on the right time, on the right way, in the perfect manner, which they are called, this time is called vatikim, and they are called in such a way. Hayu mechavnim likota me'ad kodem hanetzach hama, they read Kriat Shema right before Netzach Hama, so they can start praying on Netzach Hama. כדי שיסיים קריאת שמע ברכותיה עם החמה ויסמוך התפילה מיד בנצח חמה. They read right before קריאת שמע, before Netzach Hama, and right away go into tefillah, which will be exactly on the time of Netzach Hama, just like it says in the pasuk יראוך עם שמש. They start fearing Hashem, they start praying when the sun comes out of the horizon. That is called vatikim, and that is a very a big mitzvah. And it says about such people that muftach lo shu ben olam haba, is definitely would get to olam haba, and also you would not have any harm the whole entire day. That is a promise of the Gemara for somebody who is praying vatikim. Says the Shulchan Aruch, mishuchal lachaven lasot ken, scharo merubeh meod. He gets much rewarded for doing that, for praying on that time. We'll go into more details Be'ezrat Hashem next time, but meanwhile, if you stayed up to here, review the halachot we just learned, and we'll continue Be'ezrat Hashem on the next time.